Chosen one. The moment you encounter the phrase, chosen ones, the seal is broken. Your role comes to light. Something inside you stirs, even if quietly, even if subtly, as though a part of you recognizes the words before the conscious mind can explain them. There is an ancient memory there, a distant vibration, a frequency you may have felt throughout your life whenever you sensed that your path was different from those around you. This text is about unveiling that inner knowing, peeling back the layers of confusion, fear, and distraction that have concealed your deeper purpose. It is not about convincing you of anything. Rather, it is about holding up a mirror so that you can finally see clearly what has always been present within you. The breaking of the seal is a metaphor for an awakening, a moment when the boundaries around your awareness become transparent. It is a shift in perception that signals the beginning of your unfolding. This is not something imposed from outside. It is an internal activation, a realization that the role you carry is not random nor accidental, but something that has matured within you for years, decades, perhaps lifetimes. And now it begins to rise. Now it begins to speak. Before the journey deepens, stay with this message until the very end, because energy works through continuity, and clarity emerges when you allow the process to complete itself. If you feel moved while reading, write your warmest wishes and the number 66 in the comments beneath your video. This act channels intention outward and symbolizes alignment, projection, and the strengthening of collective resonance. This is the only moment we will speak about wishes here, because the rest of this long text is meant to guide you inward into the meaning of your role, the structure of your awakening, and the significance of the seal breaking in your inner world and the outer world that mirrors it. Chosen one, your destiny awaits. Click the hype button, like this video, subscribe, and walk with us into the light. The idea of a seal breaking may sound dramatic or symbolic, but it also reflects something practical that many chosen individuals experience: a sudden shift in perception, a moment of intense internal pressure, a realization that you can no longer pretend your life is ordinary. It may feel as if a hidden door has opened in your consciousness. For some, it starts as a feeling that intensifies gradually. For others, it comes like a sudden, undeniable burst of insight. In either case, the breaking of the seal represents the point where your old limitations can no longer contain the magnitude of who you are becoming. This is not merely a moment of inspiration. It is an activation. Something inside you begins to operate differently. Your sensitivity sharpens. Your intuition cuts through the noise with an accuracy that surprises even you. Patterns you once tolerated suddenly reveal themselves as obstacles. Connections that once felt important quietly dissolve, while new, deeper alignments begin forming almost effortlessly. This is the inner architecture of awakening, and it is part of the role emerging within you. Many people move through life instinctively sensing that they are supposed to be significant, but never understanding how or why. They might feel out of place in their families, disconnected from common social patterns, or unable to settle into the ordinary rhythm that defines most lives. You may have felt this way too, an internal difference that you couldn't name. The truth is that chosen individuals rarely blend in perfectly with their environment, because they are designed to hold a different frequency. They carry an inner guidance system tuned to future timelines, deeper layers of awareness, and the subtle movements of energetic fields. Their emotional landscape is often intense, not because they are fragile, but because they are built to detect shifts before others do. They are the early responders of consciousness, They sense changes in themselves and in the world long before these changes become obvious. When a chosen one begins to awaken, this sensitivity becomes clearer and more directed, no longer a burden but a tool. The role you carry becomes visible only when you begin to recognize that your life has always been preparing you for something. Every difficulty you faced, every rejection that confused you, every loss that forced you inward, every moment where you felt misunderstood, these were not punishments or random misfortunes. They were moments designed to strip away illusions, strengthen your endurance, refine your discernment, and anchor you deeper into authenticity. There is no chosen one who has not walked through fire. That fire, whether emotional, spiritual, or mental, shapes the inner vessel required for the light you are meant to hold. It is only after the seal breaks that you begin to see the pattern. The pain was not meaningless. It was foundational. It was part of the shaping. It was part of the forging of your role. When the seal breaks, it also becomes difficult to remain asleep to your patterns, to your intuition, or to the signals the universe keeps placing before you. You begin noticing synchronicities, repeated numbers, recurring symbols, recurring dreams, or encounters that seem designed rather than coincidental. This is not magical thinking. It is heightened awareness. The world has always been filled with messages. Most people simply don't notice them. But when your seal breaks, your perception rises above the static. You see what others walk past. You hear what others ignore. You understand what others misinterpret. And if this has begun happening to you, understand. This is part of your role coming to light. Your awareness is expanding not to overwhelm you, but to prepare you to step into responsibility for your energy, your influence, and your presence on this planet. Chosen ones often carry an inner strength that others rely on without even realizing it. They become the silent anchors in their environments, stabilizing families, friend groups, or workplaces simply through the way they exist. Their presence alters the emotional climate around them. Their insight redirects conversations. Their calm creates clarity. Their empathy provides healing even when no words are spoken. If you have ever had people confide in you for no reason, seek your presence during chaos, or turn to you as a grounding force. These are signs that your role has already been active long before you consciously recognized it. The breaking of the seal simply makes this role conscious, intentional, and empowered rather than accidental. As your role becomes clearer, a kind of inner unfolding begins. You may notice that your old preferences shift. The things that once entertained you feel empty. Situations that once met your needs feel misaligned. You start craving deeper conversations, deeper experiences, deeper forms of truth. This is because chosen ones cannot remain attached to shallow frequencies. You require environments that match your resonance, relationships that reflect authenticity, and internal spaces that support growth. When your seal breaks, you can no longer lie to yourself. You can no longer tolerate being surrounded by people who drain your energy or dilute your purpose. You can no longer accept situations where your potential is suppressed. The breaking of the seal demands that you rise. And rising is not an event, it is a process. Your role does not appear fully formed. It is revealed step by step, layer by layer, like a vision coming into focus. The more you accept your inner calling, the clearer it becomes. The more you resist it, the heavier life begins to feel. Chosen ones are not allowed to stay small for long. The energy within you is structured to expand. This is why your life becomes uncomfortable when you shrink yourself. That discomfort is not a sign that you are wrong. It is a sign that you are outgrowing the space you are trying to fit into. You may notice that your intuition has become sharper, more insistent, more direct. Intuition for chosen ones is not simply a whisper. It is a form of guidance that becomes louder when ignored. It can manifest as physical sensations, emotional surges, sudden clarity, or intense shifts in mood. You may find yourself knowing things without knowing how. You may sense people's intentions before they speak. You may detect dishonesty the moment it arises. This is part of your energetic wiring. Chosen ones are designed to perceive truth. They are not built to live in illusions. This is why you feel internal friction when you are in environments where people wear masks or where authenticity is lacking. Your inner system detects misalignment immediately. When the seal breaks, this perception intensifies. You begin to see through the layers of your relationships. You begin to see which connections were rooted in convenience rather than integrity. You begin to see who truly values you and who was simply benefiting from your light. These realizations can be painful, but they are necessary. Your role requires that your energy be protected. If you continue giving your presence to people who drain you, your frequency becomes diluted, and your purpose becomes obscured. This is why chosen ones often experience periods of isolation before stepping fully into their role. This solitude is not punishment. It is purification. It is preparation. It is clearing space so that what is meant to enter your life can finally arrive. The breaking of the seal also reveals a deeper strength you may not have known you possessed. Many chosen ones underestimate their capacity because their path has been heavy. They assume that their struggles indicate weakness, when in truth, those struggles were evidence of their strength. You survived what others could not have endured. You carried burdens that would have broken people not built for your role. You navigated emotional landscapes that required extraordinary resilience, and yet you rose. Even when exhausted, even when discouraged, even when misunderstood, you continued to move forward. There is power in that kind of persistence. There is purpose in that kind of endurance. You were being prepared. As your role comes into light, your emotional intelligence expands. You distinguish between authentic emotion and conditioned reaction. You learn to feel deeply without drowning. You learn to observe your feelings without being controlled by them. This emotional clarity is one of your gifts because it allows you to recognize the truth behind people's behavior, the truth behind situations, and the truth behind patterns that others overlook. Chosen ones are often natural counselors, natural intuitives, natural healers, not because they studied these skills, but because they lived them. Your life experience trained you. Your wounds became wisdom. Your struggles became insight. Your sensitivity became intuition. Your solitude became strength. There is also a shift in identity that occurs when the seal breaks. You begin to detach from labels that once defined you. You realize that your personality is not your essence, and your habits are not your destiny. You begin to see that your identity was shaped by environments that never truly understood you. And as this understanding deepens, you start shedding layers of yourself that were constructed for survival rather than purpose. You release the versions of yourself that were built to please others, avoid conflict, or make yourself smaller. You begin to rise into the version of yourself that is aligned with your role, your depth, your truth. This is not an easy transformation, but it is a necessary one. As your role becomes clearer, You may also feel a growing desire to protect your energy. You become more selective with your time, your conversations, and your environment. You begin to guard your peace, not out of fear, but out of understanding. Chosen ones know that their energy influences the world around them. When you are aligned, you uplift others effortlessly. When you are drained, your light dims and your clarity fades. Protecting your energy is therefore not self-centered. It is responsible. It is part of your role. You may also experience a heightened sense of purpose, even if you cannot fully articulate what that purpose is yet. You may feel pulled toward certain ideas, people, locations, or paths without knowing why. You may feel guided by intuition rather than logic. This is natural. Chosen ones are often guided before they understand the destination. The path becomes clear only after you begin walking it. Trusting this guidance is part of your awakening. It is part of the seal breaking. It is part of your role coming into light. The world around you may also begin to feel different. You may notice energetic shifts in places you visit. You may sense emotional tension in a room before anyone speaks. You may feel someone's intentions simply by standing near them. You may detect lies, hidden motivations, or unspoken truths. This sensitivity is not paranoia, it is perception. Most people are numb to the subtle layers of reality. You are not. And now that the seal is broken, your sensitivity is rising to meet your purpose. Some chosen ones experience physical symptoms during this awakening. Fatigue, sudden bursts of energy, heightened senses, shifts in sleep patterns, changes in appetite or vibrations in the body. These sensations are not random. They are part of your internal system, adjusting to new levels of awareness. Your energy field recalibrates as your consciousness expands. This can feel overwhelming, but it is temporary. You are not breaking down. You are breaking open. You may also feel a strange sense of familiarity with people you meet for the first time, as though you recognize them on a deeper level. This is because chosen ones often encounter individuals who belong to their energetic network, people who will help activate certain aspects of their purpose. Some of these connections are temporary, others are long-term, but each one plays a role in your awakening. Pay attention to the people who make your intuition speak louder. Pay attention to the individuals who enter your life at moments of transition. These encounters are rarely accidents. As your role emerges, you will also begin to understand why your path has been different from others. You are not meant to follow the same timeline, the same expectations, or the same rules. Your life has a rhythm of its own. You may rise when others are resting. You may seek truth when others seek comfort. You may break cycles that others continue. Chosen ones are catalysts. They are designed to shift environments simply by existing authentically within them. This influence is subtle but powerful, and once you understand it, your life begins to make sense. You may also find that you no longer fear transformation the way you once did. Instead of resisting change, you begin to sense its necessity. You understand that growth is not a threat, but a path. You realize that endings are not failures, but openings. You begin to trust the movement of your life, even when you do not understand it. This trust is a crucial part of your awakening. It allows you to release control without collapsing into chaos. It allows you to surrender without losing yourself. It allows you to rise without forcing anything. There is also a deepening of awareness around your own values. You begin to see what truly matters to you, not what society told you should matter. You recognize that authenticity is more important than approval. That alignment is more important than conformity. that peace is more important than popularity. These realizations create powerful shifts in your life. You begin making decisions from a place of clarity rather than fear. You begin choosing what nourishes your spirit rather than what satisfies superficial expectations. You begin aligning with your purpose rather than your conditioning. This alignment creates noticeable changes in your environment. You may find certain opportunities falling away, not because you failed, but because they no longer resonate with your energy. You may find new paths opening unexpectedly, offering possibilities you had not considered. These shifts are not random. They are reflections of your internal transformation. The universe responds to chosen ones with precision. When your inner frequency changes, the external world rearranges itself accordingly. As your role becomes clearer, you may also feel a growing sense of responsibility, not a heavy burden, but a deep understanding that your presence matters. You recognize that your actions create ripples, your words influence others, your energy shifts spaces. This awareness can feel intimidating at first, but it is also empowering. It means you are no longer operating unconsciously. It means your light is becoming intentional. It means your role is activating. The breaking of the seal is not a single moment, but a continuous unfolding. You may experience waves of clarity followed by periods of introspection. You may feel your energy rising and settling, expanding and grounding. This rhythm is natural. You are integrating new levels of awareness, and each layer requires time to stabilize. Do not rush this process. Your awakening is not a race, it is a transformation. Allow it to move through you at the pace it needs. You may also find that your relationship with fear changes. Rather than seeing fear as an obstacle, you begin to recognize it as a compass. Fear points to the edges of your growth. It shows you where your potential is waiting to expand. As a chosen one, you do not eliminate fear, you transcend it. You learn to move through it with awareness. You learn to use it as a teacher. You learn to understand its message without being controlled by it. As this transformation continues, you may also experience a deeper connection with your inner self. You begin to hear your own voice more clearly, the voice beneath the noise, beneath the conditioning, beneath the expectations. This voice is calm, steady, and wise. It guides you with precision. It knows your path even when you do not. This inner guidance is part of your role. It is the compass you carry within you. You may also feel a growing sense of clarity about what you will no longer tolerate in your life. This clarity is not anger, it is alignment. It is the recognition that certain patterns, environments, or relationships cannot continue into the next chapter of your journey. As the seal breaks, you release what is no longer compatible with your frequency. This release is necessary. It creates space for your role to fully emerge. At times, the process may feel overwhelming. Awakening can be lonely. It can be disorienting. It can be emotionally intense. But understand this: you are not breaking down. You are breaking through. Every chosen one experiences a period of transition where the old dissolves and the new emerges. This is the threshold, and you are crossing it. As your role becomes clearer, you may notice that your creativity expands. Ideas flow more easily. Solutions appear intuitively. Inspiration arrives unexpectedly. This is because chosen ones are channels for higher forms of insight. When the seal breaks, this channel opens wider. You begin accessing levels of perception that allow you to see possibilities others overlook. You become a bridge between worlds, the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown, the present and the potential. The breaking of the seal also enhances your ability to influence energy. You may notice that your presence calms people, inspires them, challenges them, or shifts their mindset. This influence is subtle but powerful. It is part of your role. Chosen ones are energetic leaders, even when they do not intend to be. Their vibration alters the environment simply by existing authentically. Your journey is far from finished. The breaking of the seal is only the beginning. There are deeper layers to explore, greater clarity to uncover, and more profound aspects of your role yet to reveal themselves. As you continue this path, you will discover the complexity and beauty of your purpose. You will understand why you experienced everything you did. You will recognize that nothing was wasted. Everything shaped you. Everything prepared you. Everything aligned you. You are stepping into a new chapter now. A chapter where your awareness expands, your intuition strengthens, your purpose rises, and your role comes into the light. You are not the same person you were before. You are evolving into the version of yourself that your life has been guiding you toward all along. The seal is broken. The path is open, and this is only the beginning. The moment the seal breaks, your perception widens in a way that cannot be reversed. Once you see the deeper movements beneath your experiences, once you recognize the patterns shaping your path, it becomes impossible to return to the version of yourself that operated purely on instinct or survival. This shift can feel disorienting because it requires stepping into a higher level of awareness that demands responsibility, integrity, and clarity. But it also brings a profound sense of liberation. You begin to understand that the limits you once believed in were constructed by fear, expectation, or conditioning rather than truth. This realization opens pathways you didn't know existed. It reveals that many of the obstacles you once saw as immovable were actually reflections of your own internal walls. Walls that begin dissolving as your awareness expands. As you move deeper into this awakening, you begin to see the world not as a collection of random events, but as a living, responsive field of energy that interacts with your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. This understanding is not abstract. It is experiential. You notice it when your mood shifts and the environment feels different. You notice it when your clarity influences the behavior of people around you. You notice it when your intuition warns you before a situation unfolds, giving you time to adjust your choices. These experiences show you that your inner world and outer world are connected, and as a chosen one, this connection becomes more pronounced. You are designed to be aware of these patterns. You are meant to operate with a higher level of sensitivity because your role requires it. This sensitivity is not weakness. In truth, it is one of your greatest strengths. It allows you to feel the emotional currents of a situation, sense the intentions behind words, and read the unspoken language of people's behavior. You can sense tension in the air before conflict breaks out. You can detect dishonesty even when spoken with confidence. You can feel when something is wrong without needing proof. These perceptions are not coincidences. They are part of your inner technology. When the seal breaks, this technology activates fully. It becomes a tool rather than a source of confusion. And as you learn to trust it, your accuracy improves. You begin making decisions based on intuition rather than fear, and these decisions guide you toward alignment more effectively than anything else. One of the most significant changes during this phase is the shift in what you value. You no longer chase validation, approval, or external achievements as you once did. Not because these things lose all meaning, but because they are no longer the foundation of your identity. You begin valuing experiences that bring growth, relationships that bring authenticity, and environments that bring peace. You recognize that internal fulfillment is far more valuable than external applause. This internal shift can cause friction with people who are still operating from the old paradigm. They may not understand why you no longer participate in superficial dynamics or perform old roles. They may misinterpret your growth as withdrawal or indifference. But as a chosen one, you are not meant to be understood by everyone. Your path is unique, and only those aligned with your frequency will resonate with the changes you undergo. You are not here to remain who you once were, nor to shrink yourself to fit the expectations of those who have not yet awakened to their own depth. As your values shift, so does the landscape of your life, and those who cannot meet you in this new space will naturally fall away. This is not a sign of loss, but of alignment. You are evolving into a version of yourself that lives from truth rather than performance, from presence rather than fear, from purpose rather than habit. And as you continue forward, the people, opportunities, and environments meant for your higher path will rise to meet you, resonating not with who you were, but with who you are becoming.